Good morning, welcome. I hope you are feeling well today. This is a gentle flow class focused on lots of twisting of the spine and folding of the spine. So it'll be really lovely if you are feeling tender in your lower back, your shoulders. If you feel like your digestion needs a little boost, we'll be wringing out some of the abdominal area as well. You might be wondering why there is a chair here. You can do quite a few of these poses with the assistance of a chair, should you so choose. If you are limiting your mobility or you're feeling tight, achy, extra tired, highly recommend just grabbing a chair and having it handy. You can use it or not use it as you see fit. I'll be demonstrating poses with and without. You may also like to have a yoga block or two and a blanket. Nothing is required, but anything that makes your practice more comfortable. When you're ready, you're going to sit down, and you can sit for this first pose either in your chair or on the floor. I'm going to start in my chair and then I'll move to the floor. If you want to sit straight on the floor, go ahead for a cross-legged seat. If your chair, like mine, has a bit of a firm seat, you can always put your blanket there. Have your block handy. If you're sitting on the floor, you can sit on your blanket as well. I'd sit in a place where your feet can rest comfortably on the floor. If your chair seat is high, you can always use a prop underneath your feet so that you are resting comfortably here. And then we're just going to fold forward. Seated in the chair, you might just kind of fold forward as resting your hands or your forearms on your thighs. Aim your tailbone back as you reach the crown of your head forward. If that feels stretchy, stay here. You can keep going a little further if you want, bringing your hands down onto a block or any other prop, or all the way to the floor. You want to feel some space at the back of your spine. And you can stay here in any variation of this chair fold. Or, if you're on the floor, you'll be sitting cross-legged, doesn't matter which way, and you'll be folding forward, walking your fingertips in front of you until you feel a pleasant stretch. And we're going to stay here for about a minute, so make sure that you feel good in this position. Adjust as needed. Add a prop underneath your bum or underneath your hands if you like. And find your forward fold where you feel a gentle opening in your back. You can take your chin towards your chest. And just breathe here. That's all that is required. Imagine there's a little weight on your tailbone, just bringing it back towards either the back of the mat or the back of the chair seat. Take one more deep breath here. Gently, slowly begin to walk your hands back in, bringing yourself to an upright seated position. Roll your shoulders back. Take a deep breath there, letting your hands just rest somewhere, palm down on your legs. Now reach your arms up. Inhale. As you exhale, you're going to twist over towards your right, just dropping your hands down comfortably. Your left hand can rest on your right thigh, and your right hand can rest behind you on the floor, or you can reach around to the back of your chair or hold a chair leg if you're sitting in that chair. Soften your shoulders. Again, imagine there's a little weight on your tailbone. It's just coming down towards whatever you are sitting on. Take another deep breath here. And then then gently with the next inhale, move your way back to the center line. Unwind. Now if you're sitting cross-legged, you're going to switch the cross of your legs. If you're sitting in the chair, you'll just stay, maybe wiggle around, get comfortable. You could always move a little further forward or further back in your chair to see what feels good. We're going to go back to that forward fold. So as you're ready, you just bring your hands forward. They can be on the legs, they can be on a prop, they can be on the floor. Your forearms can be on the floor if you're closer to the mat. Maybe a little sway from side to side to get yourself into this shape. Softening, letting go, just feeling the space between the back of each of your vertebrae. So the head is heavy and the tailbone is also quite heavy. Take another deep breath here. Slowly and gently, really take your time here today. Walk your fingertips in, roll your shoulders back. Let your palms rest down as you lengthen up through the crown of your head. And then on the next inhale, you reach your arms up. Now you're going to twist over to your left, dropping your hands down wherever it feels comfortable. Soften your shoulders. Soften your tailbone. This is just kind of a little taster of the movements we'll be doing today. We'll be doing some variations of folding forward, many variations of twisting. We'll be doing sitting down, standing up, and lying down as well. On your inhale, you're just going to unwind, come back to center. Again, let your hands rest palm down. Take a nice deep breath. Feel your shoulders moving down towards the earth as you do that. The crown of your head growing light. Now you can stay seated exactly as you are or switch it up a little bit if you need to. When you're ready, you're going to bring the center of your chest forward, roll your shoulders back. Seated cow pose, maybe gazing a little bit up. As you exhale, roll your shoulders forward as you bring your tailbone back down towards your seat. Inhale, coming forward, cow pose. Exhale, moving back, cat pose. Do 4 or 5 more of these. Work at your own pace. Find the range of motion that feels nice. Feel free to make it a little bit funky. You can move a little more to one side or the other if you need to, or you can wiggle your shoulders. It's just about opening things up. It doesn't have to be linear or a certain way. Just any way that you move a little bit forward, a little bit back. Let's do one more set. And inhale, come back to a nice neutral spine. From here, you're going to make your way to standing at the front of your mat. You take a moment to kind of wiggle out your legs or stand your feet a little bit. And from here, if you are wanting to use your chair for a little bit of assistance with balance and stretching, you'll just move it up to the front of your mat and just set it right off of the front of your mat here. So I'm just setting mine up to the front there. And that will be ready if you desire to use it. And if you don't, it's out of the way. Stand a little bit back behind your chair. I'm going to scooch mine just a wee bit forward so it's out of my way there. And then spread your toes really nice and wide. Take a moment to maybe move your feet around a little bit, wiggling, flex arms up over your head. Follow with your gaze if that feels comfortable. Continue to reach up again as you inhale. And then as you exhale, press the palms of your hands together. Draw them forward in front of your heart. Stick your bum out behind you. At this point, you can rest your hands onto the back or the seat of your chair, onto your forearms, onto your shins, onto a prop, which I forgot my prop. You could put your hands on your block here, or you could come all the way to the floor for this next forward fold variation. Now we're working a little bit more into the legs, so it's fine if your legs want to be a little bit more on the straight side today. If you do have your hands on the chair here and you want a little more stretch in your back, you can walk your hands back and go for almost a chair dog here. Sure, that feels really nice. I think I'm going to stay in this variation. Find your variation. Again, we'll stay for a little bit. Just really slowly and gently opening up today. If you're doing this class live, it is Monday morning, and it is one of the toughest times to be really motivated. Gentle flow is a lovely way to get into your body, start to open things up, but not expend too much energy. It actually helps you to build energy for the rest of your day. Let's take another deep breath here. And then really gently, you're going to come back up. If you have your arms all the way extended, as I do, what you want to do is bend your knees and walk your feet in as you roll your spine up. Otherwise, you can just roll your spine up slowly, one vertebrae at a time. Walking your hands on your legs for extra support if you like. Let your hands come down by your sides as you exhale again. Inhale, bring your arms all the way up. Make sure you're far enough back from your chair that this time as you fold, you can bring your forearms to your thighs or your hands to your legs or your fingertips all the way to the floor, but you don't bonk your head on the chair. Inhale, find a halfway lift, sliding your hands back up. You can always use the chair as something a little bit higher. And then exhale to fold. As you inhale, you're going to soften your hips and roll yourself again all the way up. Maybe bringing the arms out now. Press the palms of the hands together and fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up. Reaching up, exhale, stick your bum out, fold forward. We're going to do this little half sun salutation one more time. Inhale, lift up halfway. Your legs can be growing straighter if you like. Exhale to release. You're going to soften your hips. So your bum stays a little low as you start to roll up and you start to roll up to your spine, and then your legs straighten and then maybe your arms come overhead. Exhale your hands down. Go to the heart or to the side. It's not terribly important. Whatever feels good for your shoulders. Last one, inhaling up. Exhaling to fold. Again, you can stay quite low in this fold. Or quite high in this fold. You don't have to go low unless that's what feels good to your body. Inhale, come up a little higher, half lift. Exhale to soften. Soften your knees, roll yourself up. Inhaling. Exhale, hands to the heart or hands down by the sides. Inhale, bring your arms up. As you exhale, you're going to fold forward a little bit, either hands to the thighs or hands to the back of the chair, your choice. You are going to step your left foot back a little bit. And I'm a little too far from my chair, so I want to be a little closer if I want to use my chair. You're not using your chair, don't worry. Step your left foot back, place your left heel on the floor, the right knee is bent. You're setting up for warrior one. Press your hands down into your leg or into your chair and lift yourself up. Warrior one. You want your hips to be facing forward, your front knee stacked over your front ankle. So adjust the angle of your back foot so that feels possible for you. Reach up, maybe follow your fingertips with your gaze as you inhale. As you exhale, draw your hands forward and fold. You could bring your hands to your heart, your hands to the thigh, to the chair at any height, or you can come a little bit lower and bring your fingertips to the floor. Lengthen your spine forward, draw your right hip back. If you feel really quite frisky and a little more motivated today, you can even stretch your arms out behind you like airplane wings and keep your upper body supported by itself. Get a little bit of core work. So pick your level. Shrug your shoulders back. Let's take another deep breath. And then you're going to press firmly down into that right heel and lift all the way back up. Inhale. As you exhale, now you're going to straighten your right leg a little bit and come into that same fold. Now with the leg straight, you're just going to get a little more back of the thigh work. And the hands again can rest on the leg anywhere. You can use a block or you can use the chair. I'm even draping my hands forward over the second rung of my chair so that I can keep my spine really long here. Wherever you are, no matter how far forward you are, don't round your spine in this position. Your spine should be imagining that it is one straight line from your tailbone to the crown of your head, whether it's a line diagonally up, straight forward, or down. It's all moving as kind of one unit from the hinge of your hips. You can even place your hands on the floor if you're ready. Let's take another deep breath here. And next we're going to step back to a chair dog or a downward facing dog. For a normal downward facing dog, you'll plant your hands down, you'll bend your right knee, you'll turn your left foot straight forward and back, and you'll step back, downward facing dog. Feel free to move around there. If you want to do the chair dog, you'll want the palms of your hands again on that chair. I like to step forward and then walk both of my feet gently back. Potentially, you could try stepping your feet back, but honestly, I find that quite awkward and it feels weird. So I walk my feet a little forward, and then I just walk my feet back to that chair dog so my spine is roughly parallel. I let my head hang between my arms, and I just stretch my shoulders. Maybe I gently pedal my legs. So whatever variation of dog you prefer today. Move around a little bit. Feels nice. We are going to go through a vinyasa here in just a moment. If you're familiar, you can flow through and then come back to meet in downward facing dog. I'm going to do the chair version of the vinyasa, and then I'll do the regular one if you're not familiar with the regular one. Or I guess my regular one is what it is. All right, if you want to do the chair vinyasa, what you're going to do is bend your knees, reach up. You're going to do a kind of a cow pose. You may have to walk your feet in a little bit so you can some arch in your spine. Look up, inhale. As you exhale, you're going to round your spine. It's like you're doing a little bit of a cat. Inhale, come back to that neutral, that downward facing chair dog. If you are in downward facing dog, not a traditional style, you can inhale forward to plank. Exhale, you can lower your knees or not to the floor, come all the way down through a push-up. Inhale, you'll take a cobra, pressing the tops of your feet to the mat. And then exhale, you'll meet us back in downward facing dog, whichever variation suits. From there, take a nice deep full breath. And then walk your feet back up to the front of the mat. Either way, whether your hands are on the floor or your hands on the chair, you'll walk your feet forward. You'll lift up a little bit, press your hands into your legs or into your chair. Exhale, come back to a fold. Inhale, roll yourself all the way up. Exhale, let your hands come to your heart or to your sides, your choice. Take a nice deep breath. We're going to take all of that over to the other side. Inhale, draw your arms up over your head. Exhale, find your forward fold. Hands to the chair, hands to the legs, hands to the floor or to props, your choice. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale to fold. We're just going to do one of these half sound salutations this time before we move into the leg stretches. Inhale, roll yourself up. Exhale, hands down by your sides or to your heart. Inhale, draw your arms up. Exhale, you're going to fold forward, hands to the chair, hands to the legs, hands to props or to the floor, and you're going to step your right foot back. Set your right heel down at that ankle, and then lift yourself up. You can press your hands into the chair or into the leg, coming all the way to warrior one. Again, adjust here. Square your hips. If you need to come closer to your chair or further away to create space, I'm going to come closer so I can use my chair in a moment here. You'll want to be able to kind of reach forward and put your hands on it. Adjust. Shrug your shoulders back. Maybe follow your fingertips up with your eyes. Keep your shoulders relaxed. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, draw your hands in front of your heart. Keep your front knee bent as you fold. You could rest your hands on your chair. You could rest your hands on your thigh. You could go for blocks, or you could go all the way to the floor. Again, if you want that more vigorous, more frisky option, you could firm up through your belly. Keep reaching the crown of your head forward. Again, your spine is working to be nice and straight here. You could float your arms back behind you like airplane wings. So you can do this so many different ways. head is almost touching my chair here in this variation. Like a tiny bit of extra balance help. Just grounding me down. Spine is straight. Take another deep breath. And then you're going to press into that left heel and make your way back up. Feel free to use your chair or your leg or anything else to support you all the way back up, unrolling your spine. Lifting up through the crown of your head. Inhale. As you exhale, you're going to again straighten that front leg. And you're going to go for pyramid as you fold forward. Again, you might mix it up. You might go chair or floor. You might do something different. I really liked this variation where I rested my forearms on, I have a chair rung that's roughly hip height, which is almost perfect for me. Your height may be different, so experiment. What works for me may not work for you. You want to feel that you are elongating your spine in this folded position, that you are keeping everything straight. And again, it's like your hips are the hinge. So if you lift up and your spine is straight. If you fold forward and your spine is straight. There's no rounding, there's no cat or cow shape. It's neutral, it's right in the middle of those two places. Let's take another deep breath. And then again, we're going to come to our downward facing dog. You can plant your hands on the ground, turn your right foot straight forward and back, and just step back, downward dog. If you want to go for chair dog, you walk your hands up onto the, I like the highest height on the back of my chair, bend your front knee. Step your foot a little bit in, walk your feet back. Chair dog or floor dog. Take a few deep breaths. Feel free to wiggle. Even in chair, you could be moving your legs, bending and straightening to get into the hamstrings and the calves. And I tend to let my shoulders kind of sink a little bit, so I got this little kind of sway in my lower back, so I can wiggle my hips. Your spine might be a little more straight, that's fine. It just depends on how your body is built. And then we'll go through our vinyasa. Again, if you're in that chair dog, I like to walk my feet in so I have a little bit more space. Inhale, you find a little bit of a cow pose. You can kind of soften your elbows and look up. I get a really nice stretch in my hamstrings when I do that. Exhale, you're going to round up through your cat pose. Inhale back to neutral, hang out in your dog. If you're all the way down on the mat, you can flow through that vinyasa in the way that works for you. Knees up or down as you come to plank. Exhale, slow push up to the floor. You can take cobra or up dog, or you can even take sphinx, which is placing your elbows under your shoulders. And then we'll all meet back in our down dog of choice for a few breaths. And then we walk our feet forward, we soften our knees, and we slowly roll all the way up. Feel free to keep your arms heavy or take your arms out and up today. See what feels good. Exhale, bring your hands in front of your heart. We're going to move now into a few more twisting motions. If you like some extra support in your twists, you may like to have a block handy here. Placing that at the front of your mat. Feet are spread nice and wide. Roll your shoulders a few times. And then inhale, bring your arms up. Exhale to fold, your version of forward fold. Hands anywhere on any of your props. That feels good. Inhale, lift up halfway. Maybe your legs grow a little straighter at this point. And then as you exhale, you're going to come forward again. Your hands could be on your chair, your block, or on the floor. You're going to step your left foot back again. Place your left heel on the mat. Your right knee is still bent, and then walk yourself up just like we did for the forward fold stretches on the first set. Arms come up as you inhale. Shrug your shoulders back. As you exhale, you're going to twist your upper body over to the right, opening your arms out parallel to the long edge of your mat. For extra balance, you can be a little further forward with the hand rested on the chair seat. This right arm, as you are twisting towards your right, is coming behind you and just opens as far as you can. You may not get even close to parallel, that's fine. You just go until you feel a stretch. Parallel is just the direction in which we are traveling. All right, take a breath here. You're going to take your right hand, your back hand down as you inhale. Sweep it up next to your left hand and lift both of them up. As you exhale, you're going to open your arms out and twist back. Inhale, right arm comes down as you come forward, both arms come up. One more exhale, twist open. And then take that right arm down and then up to meet the left, and then both of the arms all the way up as you inhale. As you exhale, you're going to fold all the way forward, planting your hands to a block or to the floor. Rotate your back foot so it's facing straight forward and back. Your left hand is going to stay planted down, either on this block or on the floor. Bring your right hand to the crease of your right hip, reach the crown of your head forward, and now twist over to your right into a lunge twist. If you need to, you can always drop the back knee down so you have a little more support here. Maybe you take your right arm up to the sky. Bring your belly button back towards your spine as you exhale. And we're going to take this one a little bit dynamic as well. We inhale where we are. As you exhale, you reach down, right hand towards right heel. Maybe a little tap. And then as you inhale, you lift back up. Reaching down. And twisting up. And we're going to go through another little half vinyasa. So you can go for the chair dog variation or the down dog variation. You put your hands down on the floor, underneath your shoulders, or on the seat of the chair. If you're on the seat of the chair, you're going to walk both feet in and then walk them both out. If you're on the floor, you're just going to step your right foot back, downward facing dog. Either inhaling cow, exhaling cat, or inhaling forward plank, exhaling down chaturanga. Inhaling up dog. You can repeat cow and cat once more. You can just hang in chair dog if you're there. And then we'll all meet back on an exhale in our downward facing dog variation. Take a few breaths. Now, whether you're in your downward dog or your chair dog, you're going to lift your right foot to the sky as you inhale. Bend your right knee, stack your right hip on top of your left. If it gets to be a little much and you're in downward facing dog, feel free to take this to table, left knee to the floor. If you have your hands on the chair, just make sure you feel relatively stable. You can have a deep bend in your standing leg as you come to that scorpion pose. Go just as far as you can. You can even move your hands like off of a straight line so they're in a diagonal. I have one hand on the lower rung on the back of the chair and one hand higher to get better balance. When you're ready, square your hips, bring your right foot down, and walk your way down. Soften your hips, release your hands, and inhale, roll yourself all the way up. Exhale, bring your hands in front of your heart. Or down by your sides, your choice. Whatever feels good to your shoulders. Inhale, bring your arms up over your head. Exhale, folding. Hands can be on the thighs, the chair, a block, the floor, as you step your right foot back. Bring your right heel to the mat, pressing your hands down into whatever prop assists you best. Walk your way up, warrior one, squaring the hips, reaching the arms up. Relax your shoulders a little bit. Inhale here. As you exhale, you're going to twist open, taking your arms again parallel to the long edge of the mat. Right arm comes forward, left arm comes back. You work to keep your knee bent. And this is a lot of work for your whole torso, for your shoulders, for your hips. So don't worry if you don't go all the way. That's totally fine. You go as close to that parallel with the arms as you can. If you need to adjust this back heel, please do. The angle is just a medium point. And I even noticed in myself that this side is a heck of a lot harder than the other side. I'm nowhere near close to parallel on this side with my arms. Whereas on the other side, I could get pretty close. All right, you're going to sweep on your exhale, your left hand down, coming back to the center, and then inhale up. Exhale, open your arms, come back to that twist, pull the belly button towards the spine. Inhale, sweep the arm down, and then come back up. You're going to do one more like that. Twisting deeply. And coming back up. Now, folding forward, you're going to bring your hands to the chair or to a block, and then I recommend making your way down to the block to get the twist. It's a little awkward on the chair, but you're going to turn your back foot straight forward and back. Feel free to drop your back knee at any point. Bring your left hand to your left hip crease and twist to your left. Shrug your shoulders back. Take your left arm to the sky, and you can be doing this completely without props, just with your hands on the floor too. All of this works with 0 props, 1 prop, 2 props, 8 props. You accommodate what your body likes in each position. You may find some of them you like some extra things and some of them you don't. Shrug your shoulders back, and we'll go a little dynamic. Inhaling where we are, Exhaling to reach down and touch the outside of the left ankle. Inhaling to reach up. Exhaling to kiss the ankle. Last one, inhaling up. Exhaling to fold down. You can go chair dog or downward facing dog. Totally your choice. For chair dog, I'm kind of stepping my feet in, rolling myself up, and then walking my feet back. Downward facing dog, you'll just step back. Feel free to modify that downward dog as a table as well. Through your half vinyasa if you like. Or you can simply rest here in any position that feels good. You want to do that half vinyasa in chair. It's cow as you inhale. And cat as you exhale. We'll all meet in table or downward facing dog for our scorpion pose on the left side. So you'll ground down through your left foot and you'll you'll ground down through your right foot. You'll lift your left leg out behind you on this side. And it doesn't really matter how far your leg gets up. If you just get a little bit of a bend, that's fine. We just want to open the front of our body a little bit. Trying to stack the left hip on top of the right again. Use whatever props you need to get you there. You can be in downward dog, table, or chair dog for this one. Just opening up, imagining that you're trying to get this left foot to touch the wall behind you. Enjoying that stretch for another deep breath. And then coming back. Placing the left foot down, walking the feet in, and then gently rolling the spine up. Roll the shoulders back. Let the hands rest down by the sides as you exhale. Inhale, draw your arms up. Exhale, simply place your hands in front of your heart. Take a deep breath there. All right, from here we're going to come back down to seated either on the mat or in the chair. Totally your choice. Either way, you can sit on your blanket in any way that feels good. And again, I'm going to show both options here. If you're sitting in the chair, I'm going to sit so that, again, your feet are comfortably on the floor, so you may have to be further forward or back than I am in your chair. You are going, if you are chair seated, to cross your left leg, if you can, over the top of your right. Do your best. You may look more like this. That's completely fine. You can put a blanket or anything else between the ankle and the shin. And if that doesn't work, you might just even step your right foot a little more in front of your left foot. Whatever works for you. Reach your arms up as you inhale. As you exhale, you're going to twist. Same twist we did earlier, just this cross leg gives a little bit more into the hip. If you're sitting on the floor, you're doing exactly the same thing, but you're extending your legs in front of you. You're crossing your left foot to the outside of your right knee, and you're twisting. You can hold onto your knee because it's a little closer to you with your hand as you twist to your left. No, you're twisting to your right, excuse me. You'll have your right foot over on the outside of your left knee. If you're on the other side, don't worry. I got confused and we'll go over just absolutely the same thing to the other side in a moment here. If you like to fold your bottom foot in while you're sitting on the floor, please don't hesitate to do so. So either legs crossed or crossed-ish sitting in your chair, or legs crossed, or even bound up pretzel style sitting on the floor. We'll take a few breaths here. And then as you inhale, you're going to unwind and come back to the center line. You'll uncross your legs. If you're sitting on the floor, you'll just kind of wiggle them out. If you're sitting in the chair, you can kind of tap your feet out. And then this time, you're going to cross your left thigh over the top of your right. So if you're sitting in the chair, it might look like this. Might look more like this, and then you'll twist. You're sitting on the floor, you're crossing your left foot to the outside of your right knee. We'll all lift our arms up, and we'll all twist to the left, or the second side if I confused you on that first one and got you going on the wrong side. And again, if you're sitting on the floor and you have a lot of flexibility, you can fold your bottom foot in as well. But this is just all about different ways of doing similar poses. They're not obviously exactly the same. They're all giving you something just a little bit different, but we're working the same target areas in our body in so many different ways. And you can always take this to any practice. You can say, oh, my hips are really tight today. I can't sit on the floor, but I could do this in a chair. I could do this standing up if my wrists are bothering me. I don't have to do a downward facing dog. I can do a chair dog. And vice versa. Oh, I feel like I want to bump it up a notch. Maybe I'll move and I'll come down to the floor. When you're ready, you're going to come back to the center line. Either way, you're going to unwind your legs. You're going to give them a little wiggle. You're going to give them a little shake. Oh, that feels nice. And this next one, if you're sitting on the floor, your legs are going to stay straight or straight-ish. You can move the flesh of your bottom out to the sides. You can lift your arms up, inhale, and then fold with flexed feet forward towards your feet. And you can come just as far as you can with that nice straight spine, just like in the pyramid pose, and then drop your hands down. Reach the crown of your head forward one more time. If you feel a lot of tension, feel free to bend your knees or even put your blanket under your knees and then round your spine forward. If you're sitting in your chair, you are going to do a little one-sided action. You're going to extend your right leg, lift up, fold a little forward. I find I can just bring my hands to my thighs. Some people can bring their forearms or their hands down towards the floor. If that's you, go for it. But again, you want to flex this bottom foot up. Roll your shoulders back. Keep your spine to start with straight, and then after that, if you want to round, I find it more pleasurable to round when I'm sitting on the floor, and I like to keep my spine straight when I'm sitting in the chair. But once you get into pose, either position, if you like to round, you can. All right, we're all going to walk ourselves back in. Maybe walk our feet in a little bit, stamp them. If you're sitting on the floor, you can draw your feet in and sway your knees from side to side. If you're sitting on the floor, you're going to go for the same thing again. Maybe you'll get a little bit deeper. If you're sitting in the chair, you're going to extend the left leg, so now on the opposite side, so you're getting the back of the thigh. Lift everything up as you inhale. Straight spine brings you forward either way. When you find that maximum stretch, reach a little further, and then if you like, you can round. We're going to stay for a few breaths and just enjoy. The back of your neck be a little soft. Even if you have a straight spine, you can be bringing your chin a little towards your chest. The back of your neck feels quite long and spacious here. Take another deep breath. Now let's walk our hands in towards us. Rolling the shoulders back. Bring the feet in. Maybe wiggle them a little bit. Again, if you're seated, you can draw the knees in and sway them. And then from here, we're all going to come and lie down on our mats. So if you're using a chair, you'll just bring it out to the side. If you want to have it near you to help you get up later, you can certainly have it kind of close to the edge of the mat. I'm just moving mine out of the way so that you can see me. Feel free to bring your blanket and your block down to the mat with you and just set them to the side. Set mine down here at the bottom. And then you're going to lie yourself all the way down. Again, if getting down on the floor is not possible for you today, feel free to lie onto a bed or a couch to do these next poses. You'll have to modify a little bit if you don't have a ton of space beside you, but it's certainly possible to do all of these things in different positions. From here, you'll lie yourself all the way down. Soles of the feet are on the floor, knees are pointing up towards the ceiling. Relax your shoulder blades. Draw your right knee in towards your chest. And here, you can be holding the shin or the thigh. If the leg doesn't come particularly far in towards you, feel free to use a strap over the ball of the foot or behind your thigh and hold on there. And you just bring the leg in to the extent that is possible and feel stretchy to your body. Maybe you move a little bit from right to left. Feel free, if it feels better, to extend your left leg long. From here, you're going to turn your right foot a little bit up to face the ceiling, and you can grab your foot, or you can again put a strap over the top of your foot, and you're going to take your right knee out to the side a little bit for a half happy baby or half stirrup pose. So your right knee comes towards your right armpit. And again, you can just hang here, or you can move a little bit. See what feels nice. And this is a lot of that same movement that we were doing sitting and standing up, only we are reverse folding forward because now we're lying down, but we're bringing the front pieces of our body, our torso and our legs together. So stretching similar areas, but different relationship to gravity. Okay, from here, if you let your left leg come long, you're going to bring it back in, and you're going to cross your right ankle over the top of your left knee. And that might feel like plenty. You might simply stay here. You may even just have to hold your foot with a strap, and it might be quite far away from you. That's completely fine. You just want to feel this outer edge of your right leg. Maybe you can draw your left knee towards you. And you can play a little here. The closer towards your groin that you bring your right ankle, the deeper the stretch in the right glutes and the right outer hip will be. So you can you can customize what works for you. You might become accustomed to something and then have to customize because it no longer works for your body. All right, from here, the left foot comes back to the floor. If it lifted up, you can do this next twist with your legs crossed if you want. So right thigh on top of left thigh, you just take your legs over to the side. That doesn't work for everybody. Often I find that twist is really intense around the area of my tailbone. It's too much. So I like to take my twist by just stacking my knees. You may find that you need a prop between your knees, or you might do the kind of open variation where your right foot lands on the floor and your left knee comes over to the side. The variation of the twist is not important. It's that it feels good to your body. You can even have something underneath your knees here on the outside. So underneath your left knee, you could have a pillow, a blanket, a block, whatever you like. If you want, you can turn to look towards your right. Sometimes it's enough, especially if you're in the bed, just to pile up a couple of pillows beside you and let your knees lean into them. So you're just going a little over to the side, a little stretch for your spine. Nice and gentle. Take it easy. When you're ready, you can come back to the center, and we'll do all of that over to the other side. So you'll drop your right foot down, and you can keep hugging your left knee in towards your chest. And of course, you can use a strap or any other prop to help you get that knee hugged towards the chest. What you're really trying to do is, as you bring that knee into the chest, relax and create space in your lower back. So if you are not feeling that, back off a little bit so that this is a relaxed place. Maybe moving a little bit. Feels nice. You can turn now the sole of the left foot up to the sky. You can hold with a strap or with your hand or anything else as you draw the left knee towards the left armpit. Again, feel free to take the right leg at any point long if that feels better. You can kind of decide what feels good over here on this side. And here you just want to feel some kind of light compression, light drawing inwards of your left thigh towards your left hip socket. We're giving our tissues within our joints a really nice massage. We're kind of squishing everything together and then drawing it apart and squishing it together and drawing it apart. And of course, as we do that, the nice thing is that as we compress and decompress, we get a little more flexible, we get a little more mobility in our muscles, but we also get more blood flow, which helps us to stay more flexible and more mobile. When you're ready, the right foot will come in if it drew out, the left ankle over the top of the right knee or as close to thereof as is possible for you. Feel free to use a strap to just hold your foot anywhere kind of towards the center line and then in towards you that works. I'm using my Phantom strap today because I didn't think to grab one, but anything that is appropriate. You can use a tie or a belt too. Maybe you need to go a little further. You have relatively flexible outer hips, open hips. And maybe you're even really flexible and you need to bring that left foot closer to the groin. See what works for you. And again, it's just about decompressing the body. Now you're putting a lot of stretch, a lot of pull and tug on the muscles. But it should be relatively gentle. All right. The right foot will come back to the floor if it lifted up, and you can keep sliding the thighs together and take your twist here. That might feel really lovely. So your left leg is on top and you're taking your knees to the right, and that's the variation of the twist with the twisted legs. Maybe you're like me and you think, oh, that's just too much for my lower back. I'm going to stack my knees or put a prop between or underneath my knees. You can do, let me use my yoga bolster here. Oops, pardon me. Nice loud clap for you at home, I'm sure. On the outside of the knee, and that might feel like plenty, especially if you look over to the left. So see what feels best for you. We're going to stay for a little bit. And just enjoy. So if it's not enjoyable, please don't do it. This should be nice and gentle and yummy for your body. Ready? You're going to bring your knees back to the center line. Maybe give them a nice hug in towards your chest again. If you'd like, you could go for a full happy baby, turning the soles of your feet up. You can hold with your hands, your feet, your ankles, your calves, your thighs. You can also take a strap or a belt over the tops, over the balls of both of your feet, and hold the edges of the strap as a way to help get your knees a little closer to your armpits. Find your happy baby. Or your Apanasana, your knees hugged into your chest. Whichever one feels good. Maybe some of both. And then from here, we're going to move to Shavasana. We're going to take a long Shavasana today. So I would suggest that you get really comfortable. If you are lying on the floor and you want to lie on a cushy surface, you could take me with you. Or you could just set a timer for 7 or 10 minutes. We're going to do, let me look, about a 7-minute Shavasana followed by a wake up. So you could do that if you don't have a portable device. You could take that with you to a comfy spot and just set your timer for relaxation. Or you can take me with you. If you are lying on the mat and you're comfortable, you can simply stay. Or you can add some accessories. I'm sometimes partial to rolling up my blanket and putting it underneath my knees. It's really anything that makes you feel comfortable. So feel free to even grab some extra accessories. Feel free to sit for your Shavasana if you like. That might feel nice. You could take your blanket or a pillow underneath your head for a little extra cushion. I'm going to create a little roll here, I think, for my neck. And then lie down so that my upper vertebrae are totally supported here. So take a few moments. Get really comfy. I'm simply going to sit up so that I can talk you through a little bit of a relaxation. As you come into your Shavasana, your rest pose, feel your body beginning to let go. Feel the muscles of your jaw, of your neck, and of the tops of your shoulders releasing. Feel the center of your chest and your belly letting go. Feel your hips, your thighs releasing. Feel your arms and your legs growing pleasantly heavy. Allow your breath to deepen so that each inhale and each exhale feel full and nourishing. to rest here in this soft, relaxed, and comfortable state. Allowing your nervous system the time to regenerate. Allowing your mind and your body to refresh. Deep breath in. Nice big sigh out. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Blink your eyes. Maybe turn your head from right to left. Once you're ready, you can roll yourself all the way over to one side to rest for a few breaths. Before making your way to a comfortable seated position for you today, wherever you are, in any type of place. As you arrive in that seated position, you'll bring your hands in front of your heart. Press all 10 of your fingertips together. Press the heels of your hands together. Relax your shoulders as you feel the crown of your head start to move towards the ceiling, so you grow a little taller through your spine here. And we'll close our practice with one deep breath together. In through the nose, out through the mouth, on 3. 1, 2, 3.